Good morning, this is Melanie Cosentino, and today I'm here with J. Mark Johns with Vital Visions, and we're going to talk to him about his ideas on leadership and how he started Vital Vision and where he hopes to take it. Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I guess the first question is your elevator speech. How would you describe Vital Visions?
How would I describe Vital Vision? Vital Vision is a leadership development company. What we do is multiple things. We do personal mentorship for people. But mainly I work a lot with organizations of every kind. I work with churches, I work with businesses, I work with community activities. We have several clients from many different genres. I've worked with restaurants. I've taught leadership to all of the deputies right here in Columbia County. I did that over a 2-day period. Right now, some of my clients, I work with the city of Alachua. I teach 42 city leaders and managers once a month on Wednesday. So we have a wide variety and arrangement of people that we work with, but primarily what we do is we help people create the types of cultures where people want to work in so that they can get the most out of their people.
And you said you're helping in Alachua. Has that been a challenge to actually to work in a community with a city government?
Not really for me, because I believe essentially that all organizations are the same. A lot of people who work with me know that my primary responsibility is that I'm a pastor, but I kind of had this crossover effect into the business community probably about 7 or 8 years ago. What created that was, again, all organizations are essentially the same. It doesn't matter whether you're a church, whether you're a restaurant, whether you're a community, or whether you're a government agency. Wherever you have people that are gathering together to perform a certain function or perform a task, or to try to move something big forward, the principles of leadership are absolutely necessary and have to happen. So the principles are universal. They may be applied specifically to those environments. There may be policies or procedures that may vary from organization to organization, but if there are people there, the principles of people are the same no matter where you go. So, it's really not that big of a deal to me. I love to do it. I love to see the variety of different agencies that we get a chance to work with, and we see a lot of great effects that come from it.
And is this really just something that's confined to Florida, or have you branched out? I mean, do you travel with this?
Absolutely. I've taught leadership in Europe, Central Europe, in Prague. I did that with churches. I've also taught leadership in, oh gosh, I don't know, probably 15 or 20 states now that we've had clients with, that we work with. Sometimes it's a one-time event. I've been asked to come in and speak at a conference or some specific business meeting and to consult with business leaders or organizations. But mostly the guys that I work with, they're based in Carolina right now, South Florida, but then they have branches all over. For example, one of the companies that I work with is a company called NatureChem. They're based out of Lexington, South Carolina, but they have 11 locations around the nation. Another client that I work with is PWR. They're based in South Florida, but they have 10 locations ranging from California to Maine. So a lot of the monthly leadership that I do with them, we do via Skype, or we do mega meeting, and then twice a year I come together and I do a leadership meeting conference with those guys on a 2-day period. So it's really a unique animal, but we do a lot mainly right here nationwide.
Okay. Now I guess my next question is going to be, how do you see Vital Visions going into the future as a business itself?
That's a great question. And the reason that's a great question is because you got to understand that I never really intended for Vital Vision to be this massive business on and of its own. I kind of got pulled into it simply because of the need that's present within the world. Again, my primary purpose is I pastor a church. So I'm a purveyor of the gospel. But I believe, and here's how Vital Vision came about. We lead an organization, and I've led 2 of them now, large organizations that are 95% volunteer driven. So when you lead an organization that is 95% volunteer driven, and you are trying to do big things with a 95% volunteer base, and you do not have the luxury of monetary motivation, you better know leadership. You better know how to cast vision, you better know how to create vision, and you better know how to motivate and inspire people towards that vision so that they see something bigger and larger that is worth investing their time in, that they're not going to have any monetary motivation for. So those principles that we honed and learned over the years gave us a niche in the business world, because what we saw time and time again was that many organizations solely rely on that monetary motivation to inspire people. And there comes a time where it loses its luster. It loses its zeal and zest. And we've all seen it. People who go to work for other organizations for less money because of a couple of factors. They either believed in the vision of that organization greater and better, or they were treated better and they felt more appreciated and had more of latitude to be able to express their creative side. So there's a lot of reasons why people choose purpose in life. And what I do with companies is I don't really deal with policy or procedure issues. That's for somebody else. What I deal with is people. We don't focus on products or profit margins. We focus on people, because if you create the type of environments where people want to work and want to be a part of and love coming to work, you're going to get the best out of those people, and you will never have to worry about product or profit margin. They'll take care of themselves. So what I teach people is your company, your organization, its greatest asset is your people. If you invest in them, build them, develop them, create cultures and environments that empower them, you're never going to have to worry about the success of your organization. And so that's what opened up the door for us to get involved in the business community. And what I see in the future is, right now we have 3 clients that we work with every month that are residual clients of ours. One day I'd love to have 6 to 8 clients really a month. And really I'm even having to say no to some clients now because I'm having to really pick and choose my time better. But what I see for the future of Vital Vision is I love to not just do one-time events. I really love to work with people that I can go the distance with, that I can help them really change the culture of their entire organizations for long-lasting benefit and results. So that's what I really love to do.
Okay, so my last question, I suppose, is going to be, what are your formats? I mean, I know you do one-on-one, but you also do like the leadership that I was aware of that you did in Alachua was over a period of weeks.
Right.
But you also go to conferences, you also do public speaking engagements. Which do you think is the most, I won't say effective, but the most impactful to people?
Right. I think there is, I think that leadership development is not a one-time event. Now, I do that, okay? I speak at conferences. There'll be a conference that'll be brought together for a 3-day period, and they'll have a variety of speakers. We've all been to those. I still do some of those. People invite me in it, and it's an honor and a privilege to do that. What I have observed in the last 6 to 7 years is that the longest lasting and the deepest impact that you'll make in an organization is when you can literally kind of do life with these people, and you're in constant contact with them, and then you create a plan. We call it a growth track. Okay, there's a track that we want to take that organization from where they are to where they want to be. And so we meet with their top tier leaders. We find out what some of the greatest needs are. We talk a lot about culture and how to identify the present culture of an organization. And then I work with them through leadership training. I work with them through mentorship within that organization. I help mentor the top tier people. And then what happens over a period of time, I like to use this language. We work leadership into the rhythm of the organization. So I want you to think about it a little bit like if you're kneading dough and you're putting cinnamon in that. You want to make cinnamon bread, okay? You work cinnamon into it, you knead it into the organization. If you want to add chocolate chip, throw chocolate chips in there. You knead it into the organization. It becomes a part. And so it's no longer 2 separate or 3 separate elements. It's simply become a part of that entire piece of dough.
It's just how it becomes their custom.
It becomes their culture.
It
becomes their culture. So what I do is I come in and I help them identify their culture, and then I give them some great ideas and some ways to apply that change to their culture. But then it takes the process of time. So for example, the thing that you were talking about, I do personal mentorship with people, leadership development. I try to help them increase their overall effectiveness and potential, and that's about a 7-month process. But then I work with organizations and companies, and that's my favorite. You're asking me what do you think is most effective. I think what's most effective is when I work with an organization over a period of at least 12 months. In that 12-month period, I have seen some amazing changes that have come to companies that were really, really on the verge of decline. By the time that most clients really hire me, they've really understood and come to the understanding that they're on the decline and that something has to change. And maybe they're still making money, but there's a feeling in the organization, and that's what culture is. It's that thing that's unspoken that everybody knows but can't really define. When you begin to change that culture, where it's life-giving and it's empowering and morale is high. Productivity always follows morale, always has and always will. So what I help clients do is really change the dynamic of their culture and help it become a life-giving environment where people don't endure being, but where they enjoy being. And when they enjoy being there, happy people are productive people, and productive people are profitable people. So that's how we work it, and that's what I think is the most effective.
Well, I want to thank you for talking to me today, and I want you to finish and go ahead and tell where your church is and where you meet.
Sure.
And how people can get in touch with you.
Sure. Let me tell you a little bit about how to get in touch with Christ Central Alachua. We've been there for 4.5 years. Our church is growing exponentially. We've grown from 30 to over 250 in just 4.5 years, and we're growing every day. We're worshiping at the Santa Fe High School Auditorium at the Santa Fe High School there in Alachua. They can go to our website, ccalachua.com, and they can find out all about the church and all types of opportunities there. They can contact me at jmark@vitalvisiononline.com, or they can go to our website for the leadership side, vitalvisiononline.com, and they can email me there and contact me there. All of the information is right there on the website, and we'd be more than glad to help anybody and work with anybody who has a need in this particular arena or area.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. That does it.